Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Kilobolt episode 4. In this episode, we'll be reviewing the past advances that we have had in the last few weeks that I've been working on this project. So, I wanted to show you. First, we're going to do it a little differently. I'm going to show you first the program on what it's doing, and then we're going to go into the code to motivate you a little bit, maybe to ask some questions about it, or to get into the minutia of the programming. Okay, so I'm hitting play. So as you can see, we have many different changes here since our last episode. First, we have this little number here that will keep track of our score. We have this rectangle here that is not part of the game per se, that is meant to debugging, to check collisions between our character and the enemies and the surrounding. So I put the rectangle there to help myself understand how the collision detection was working. Okay, so our first change, so the first thing I want to demonstrate is this, the collision detection between projectiles and the enemies. So I'm firing. As you can see, the projectile disappeared and I registered one shot, right? And let's do it again. There, two shots, two hits with the enemy. Now if I keep firing it, that's right, we implemented a health system for our enemies. So when I hit them 5 times, they disappear. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gone. Now if I run to them, check the console. Collision, collision, collision. That means that my character is getting hit. So far I haven't put a health system for the character, but I did implement a death system. Let's check it out. So the character not only has collision detection with the enemies, but also with the surroundings, with the landscape. So as you can see this little mountain here, I can jump over it. Okay, there we go. As you can see, the movement is not as smooth as I would want it to be, but there we go. Right, and now I can keep jumping these platforms. And that will be it for now. This is the only landscape I have programmed so far. Let's take a look at the death of the character. The only way for our character to die right now is if I fall. There, I fell, dead. That the game crashes and I have to restart. So let's take a look at the code. Let's begin with the starting class. Right. Okay, for first thing I want to show you is how I created the dead and running states. Running is what the game is, running. The character is not dead, and dead is when the character is dead and the game stops. So this is how I do it. I create a game state variable, running and dead. The game starts as running. Okay. And I created a condition here at the run. If state is game running, then the game happens. All the game that we have seen so far happens. But if it isn't, if the center of robots is less than 500 pixels, that is it has fell in a pit, then the game state changes to dead, and all of this stops being true. And what happens is that it stops painting any graphics besides this. The game becomes dead. So okay, so that's that. How did I create the collision detection though? That's a more tricky one. That's way more complicated. Essentially what I did was to create a rectangle surrounding my character. Right? Here it is. These rectangles. All of these rectangles are surrounding the character. So rect and rect2 are the two rectangles that appear here. This is rect1 and this is rect2. But there are also more rectangles that I'm not showing that I have painted on the foot of my character and also on the arms. So when I get next to it, you see that it detects a collision as soon as I touch the guy, just with my arm, right? And the foot collision detectors are obviously for keeping track of when I am on a tile or when I am, falling down a pit, right? Okay, so this yellow red rectangle, what it creates an area of 25 tiles surrounding my character, and we check all of the possible collisions in those 25 tiles. Okay, so create the rectangles here with the coordinates appropriate to them. I also created rectangles for everything, for enemies, and more importantly, or, or as importantly, for tiles, right? And I created methods for checking vertical and horizontal collisions. Basically what happens is that when the game detects that one of the rectangles next to the other registers a collision, like that. And all of these methods are called within the starting class in order for us to get them to work, right? So check side collision. If I have a type 5 tile or a type 2 tile or a type 0 tile, which are basically the sky and the tiles that are not directly showing me ground, that is, now let me show you. It's easier if I show you. Oh, right, so the number 2 and number 3 and number 8, basically I just want my character to register a collision with a tile that has the grass upwards. That's why I am taking off all of these different tiles from this condition. And when it does, it corrects itself. It corrects the character to have the center above the tile, always above the tile. Okay? So that's the basic mechanics of how it works. Obviously there is a lot of detail into it, but the video doesn't allow me to record that much, so I'm trying to be very fast in my appreciation of it. The other thing that we did is that in our projectile class we created a rectangle too, right? And that rectangle, we check collision with the other rectangles. That's the way we register when we fire, when our projectiles hit something. Notice that if I fire something, the projectiles will get through. The projectiles only get collisions when I hit an enemy. Okay, folks, that will be it for today. Our very near project. The next step will be adding some artificial intelligence to the characters, to the Heli boys. But I think that's it for our game. In future projects, we'll be experimenting with Unity. I know that I've said it before. I'm very excited about it. I want to start as soon as I can. But I'll take it slow. I'll take my time understanding the concepts that are being implemented into this code, because all of these, even though if you in Unity don't use it, will help you to understand what your game is doing. Okay folks, that will be it for now. Thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe, leave a message, anything. Thank you.